What's up, y'all? It's Marcellus Wiley, that dude. Let's talk about what y'all talking about, which is Shannon Sharpe no longer at ESPN. I know a lot of conversation about will he return this fall to ESPN? Well, that has been answered, and the answer is no. So we're going to have a conversation, obviously, about how did we get here, but more importantly, take a deep dive of how we could have went somewhere else. The handling of this entire process, take you behind the scenes of ESPN in its hiring and firing practices, and how did we really get here? A 360 look at all of this. Sad news. Let's just be real about it, because it's not about innocence or guilt in this conversation. It was a he say, she say, with a lot of leaked evidence that swayed public opinion, that led to a settlement, that led to his termination at ESPN. We'll take that deep dive, but before we do all that, make sure you guys support this channel by subscribing and liking to it. Also, support the community. Leave your email right there, projecttransition.org. If you do that, you can become a volunteer for us, right? And if you want to be a part of our global giving community and do a little more, you can become a donor. Any size donation, $2, we don't care. It's all for the kids to help them have experiences and exposures. But if you want to do the most, become a gym member, a giver every month, like Anthony Jacobs. Not only do you get invited to our exclusive events and get amazing prizes, we just like to take care of people, we're givers, but also you have the greatest impact with the kids, including our NFL skills camp that's happening August 16th at Crespi High School. Check the link in the description for all the information. And Anthony Jacobs, look out for this. It's going to be at your doorstep. It's yours. Now, let's take a deep dive into what the news of the day is. Shannon Sharpe no longer will not return to ESPN after settling lawsuit. So it's a 1-minute read. We'll take a read of this. Normally we like quotes, but we'll read this article. Shannon Sharpe will not be returning to ESPN. According to Andrew Marchand of theathletic.com, ESPN had cut ties with Sharpe after the Hall of Famer settled a lawsuit accusing him of the settlement was announced by the accuser's attorney, Tony Busby, earlier in July. Sharpe has strongly denied the allegations and stepped away from his role at ESPN, where he was featured on First Take while he had previously vowed to return. We did that video back then, remember? That now would not be the case. Sharpe had not been on ESPN since April. Now, let's talk through this and let's make this quick as we can. We all know how we got here, right? Shannon Sharpe, one day we woke up and was like, what? Shannon Sharpe got accused of this. Then we found out who she was, and then she was 19 from the gym. They were hollering, turned into a relationship up and down 2 years. Unc, you too old for that. Then everybody starts, judging and judging her, judging him, and we went through all that. And then the leak of the lawsuit settlement, and wow, you offered her, what was it? 10 million, she wanted 50 million, details like that. You guys correct them, beat them up in the comments. We all know how we got there, right? Shannon vowing that he's going to take a break from all things so he can focus in on the trial and his family, but still continue to do his independent podcast, Nightcap, Club Shay Shay. But he walked away from ESPN, said, I'll be back in the fall. Everybody questioned that. Stephen A. Smith came out, didn't give him exactly the resounding support you were expecting to receive. Let's just say that. Kind of gave him a little halfway support. That turned into us reading the tea leaves saying, bro, you're never going back to ESPN. But no one knew for sure. That's how we got here. Let me take you down a different path, because we could have went somewhere else. So now, let's talk about this lawsuit. The first thing that should have happened, and in these lawsuits, you get a demand letter. Trust me, I got experience. You get a demand letter 99% of the time, which is, hey, about to sue your butt. The whole world gonna know unless you want to talk and have a settlement. You want to have mediation. You want to just write a check, whatever you want to do. I just don't want to out you, but I will out you because obviously that's leverage for me being the 19-year-old woman in this situation. Now, if Shannon Sharpe received that, which most people do, he should have settled right then. You don't want to know why? Become a gym member with Project Transition. As a giver every month, small gifts have a big impact in creating real change. Not only will you transform lives, you'll also win and unlock once-in-a-lifetime experiences. Join me, Marcellus Wiley, in making a real impact through Project Transition, a global giving community dedicated to uplifting underserved youth with mentorship, education, and access to real opportunities. Your donation doesn't just enter you to win unforgettable prizes and exclusive experiences with myself and other gym members. It fuels our mission to empower the next generation of leaders, dreamers, and game changers. From after-school programs, life skills camps, and career development, every dollar helps unlock potential where it's needed most, and where every person makes a world of difference. Give back, win big, be the difference, be greater than your greatest excuse. Support Project Transition today. Become a gym member and help turn obstacles into opportunities. Simple as this, because that's how the game is played. If he would have settled in, it would have just been money that he would have lost. He would have just cost himself some money. But now you know what the cost is? And it costs to be the boss. Money and reputation. And he won't get that back. And he won't get it back, not just because he was accused. I think we're in a different time now where people look at these accusations like, I don't know, dog. There's too many of them. I don't trust these women. I don't trust these dudes. Whoever's doing the accused, I'm good. Like, people are literally at a point where it's like, prove it. The way you're supposed to be. But there was a time where as soon as you heard accusation, it meant guilt. We're not there now, so we understand. That wasn't what happened with Shannon Sharpe. He didn't settle before it got out. We all know about the Diddy situation, the same thing. Everybody's like, damn, if he would have just settled, we would have never heard, and he would have never been in jail, blah, blah, blah. But you settle because it's not about innocence or guilt. And it's not about if I'm going to win this case or not. It's not about any of that. This ain't time for you to be a competitor. This is time for you to be smart. Don't work hard, work smart. And it would have just cost him money. Now it costs him money, reputation, opportunity, which turns into more money. So that was the first thing. The second thing is, even if he didn't settle, even if he didn't get a demand letter and she just blindsided him, okay. He shouldn't have sent the offense on the field, right? In this coin flip, once you find out, all right, this is what she doing? Okay. They're like, well, she won the flip. What would you like to do? Should have deferred. Send the defense out there. Simple as that. Because sending the offense out there, which meant leaking out text messages, leaking out things about her character, leaking out her name, leaking out her OnlyFans, all that. I'm telling you, and that's going to be the last part of this video. That's why ESPN had to cut ties with him. It's because all of that was let out. The accusation, allegation, people don't even read through those lawsuits. All they do is scroll through TikTok and see somebody sum it up in video, right? People are not reading all of those pages. Some people do in the industry. Some people do, content creators, but most people don't. Everyone's looking for a summation, okay? So those devilish details would have been lost on most of the public, except Shannon sent the offense on the field instead of the defense, and we saw what happened. So now he stained our brain, and that's what happened. Now, I'm lacing all this with, obviously, the overview of accountability, and Shannon Sharpe has no one to blame but himself. We all understand that. But let's look deeper than that, because hindsight is 20/20. And some of these things actually, if not all, I said in the moment. I was like, all right, we're here now. The last thing is taking you behind the scenes, ESPN, and what happened. Once they saw, all right, he got accused, but man, this dude draws ratings. This dude is box office. Damn it. But now, not only did he get accused, everything's out there. This is messy. This is dirty. This is nasty. Then old stuff start popping up, and it just like starts snowballing. Yuck, yuck. That's what got him. It wasn't even like the cover-up was worse than the crime. It was his response to the allegation was worse than the allegations themselves. Because tumultuous 2-year relationship with a youngster, not exactly what you sign up for and raise your hand for, but nothing illegal there, right? So, damn it, that's what got him. But let me take you into the building, ESPN. And there are a lot of ways in that building, but the typical way is somebody with rank or power. You know, talent coordinator leads to one of those VPs, senior VPs, and next thing you know, you're in the hiring process, right? You get to go up to the top floor. You get to go up to the foggy glass windows, as we used to call them, right? And you know who's in there. At the time when I was getting hired, it was John Skipper. So let me just give you guys a little parallel experience. He was doomed when none of those people would stick their neck out for him. And we knew that based off of the only public figure that we know has executive power, really is Stephen A. Smith. By his choice words, by his response, by his conversation he had with his bosses, we knew that they had relayed to him, look, let's land this plane slowly, softly, but we're sure we're going to do it. And that was back then, right? You could just hear it. And this is not to put this on Stephen A. He's just the only public-facing executive, right? Everybody else, y'all don't know their faces, even though you know some of those names. So nobody could stick their neck out there and do it. And you want to know why they couldn't? It's because of what has happened before, the past, and more importantly, the present, how dirty, how much of that laundry got aired in that moment, those initial 2-3 days. Without that, I will guarantee you somebody would have said, give him another chance. If this was just a lawsuit, man, she young. Damn. All right, Shannon, handle that. And he would have kept on moving and didn't have to try and slander because it was a seesaw effect. He was trying to smash and be like, y'all stupid. He was trying to put the hammer down like, I ain't do this. She tripping. See, look. But what happened was it boosted her because not only did she have her own receipts, but then he forgot the whole premise of why are you even in that in the first place kicked in, and no one has sympathy for him, and people weren't really looking at it from that perspective. I don't think many people think he did anything wrong to the young lady. You know, they had a weird relationship. Let's just say that. Within the confines of being weird, I think they were all right. But at the same time, once we know how weird it is, it gets weird. Never let us see how the sausage is made. Y'all stupid. So now, Stephen A., anybody ain't sticking their neck out for him. And that's a tough play for Stephen A. if you're him because that's your boy. But at the same time, dog, this is my career. And this how you handled it? Come on, man. So none of those execs would stick their neck out for him. In a he say, she say conversation, the only big joker in that deck is not what you say. And it's not what she says. Is if you have proof that they lied. That's it. Proof that they lied. Shannon thought he had it, but what really he put out there was he say or she say, but not the lie. You only let these things drag out in public eye if you know you're going to get them, ridicule them, right? Get your reputation back, you know, Trevor Bauer, stuff like that. When you just know, oh, no, I ain't for all this. Not when it's like the dynamics of what Shannon Sharpe went through. So I'll leave you guys with this because I know from experience. The relationships he had in that building, they didn't cultivate to the point where somebody would really risk it for him, right? This is relationship based. Because if any of those people with the power could have said, come on, y'all. Y'all know what this is. This dude is still ratings. He's still doing it on the independent level and killing it. He has an empire. We can still use him. People were forgiven. Most people don't even believe he did anything like that. Come on. But nobody even wanted to have that conversation. You ever been there where they say, any questions? And everybody got a question, but ain't nobody about to ask. You ever been there? I've been there so many times. You be like, man, I know I want to say something, but either A, this ain't going to land well, or B, ain't nobody going to support me, or C, I'm trying to get home. That's on him. So I remember all the process, talent coordinator, VP, senior VP, I went through all that stuff. But I'm telling you, the hiring and the firing, right? So I finally get upstairs, foggy glass door windows, meet with John Skipper. This is going back. It's a parallel to what Shannon had to go through in reverse. And you meet with him, and it's like, yeah, man, talking, all that good stuff. Yeah, you look good. Oh, this great. Oh, I love it. Oh, man, you're doing great. And then what made it all happen for me was simple as this. Walking out, he was like, all right, big dog, respect. I'll probably put the big dog in his mouth, but Roar Lions Roar. He was a Columbia guy, okay? Relationship. Now, to come down the hill, when it's time to leave, you got opportunities, you got offers, or in this situation, if you're Shannon, you're kind of sitting there holding your breath, hoping they will let you back in. You don't get the same kind of calls. You don't get the same lineup. You don't get the same pecking order. You don't get the same, as you go up, you don't get all those stops coming down. It's just sitting there hoping, waiting, wishing. One of your boys, like, you know, you sitting there, if you're Shannon, you for real, you like, come on. That's my dog. Oh, yeah, he understands. He knows I ain't. You don't hear anything. The phone ain't ringing. And finally, it does ring. Ring. Pick it up. It's your agent. You already know. Isn't it crazy? Right? Like how it ends ain't never like how it starts. Just like the same situation. And a lot of people could have raised their hands. And I'm, Stephen A's the only one we know, but there are a lot of names out there. They didn't. It's all good. Or they didn't have enough sway to make it happen. That means unanimously, majority, I would say unanimously, people were like, gotta step away from this. And understandably so. The saddest part about this all is how much opportunity was lost. But Shannon ain't dead. Not even close to it, so he will survive. He will continue to thrive. All right, beat it up in the comments. Let me know the missteps, the way we got here, and the way we could have got somewhere else. I swear, if he didn't put out them, this social media addiction, this addiction to being validated, this addiction to people believing you, this addiction to being liked, this addiction to being followed. Don't put it out unless you know it's going to put it out. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, now, so you know what we do on this show, boy. We flow, boy. But before we flow, boy, you know what? We check in on your dough, boy. So please tell me if you're debt-free. And if you're not debt-free, I want you to listen closely, because those in debt, I got to hook you guys up. Well, my team at Monitor Debt Resolution. Call us today. Right there. You see that QR code, you see the number, and you see the website, pt.monitordebt.com. Okay, this is what's going on. You're in debt right now. Got them high-ass interest payments and them low monthly notes you sending in, and it ain't adding up, right? High interest and low monthly, that ain't going to do it. You're going to be in debt forever. So Monitor Debt Resolution is your financial wellness solution, right? You got to check my link in the description for your financial wellness prescription. This is what they do, like they did for Hannah. She's an office assistant, beautiful family, husband, kids. She lost her mother. Now she's taking care of her father, bringing in more debt to the family. Well, she's in debt in 2025, but next year she's going to be debt-free because she has a financial plan. So you got to make sure whether you have student loan debt, credit card debt, medical debt like her, personal debt, whatever kind of debt. Man, the Shannon Sharpe settlement debt, whatever level of debt, you got hit with a lawsuit. Who knows, right? Got parking fines, whatever it may be. Call this number right here, 866-204-0071. That's 866-204-0071. Make sure you guys hit up Monitor Debt Resolution for your financial wellness solution. All right, y'all. Now, you know, since he ain't dead, we can rap. You know what we do on this show, boy. We flow, boy. Oh, weird. That's my Galactic song right there. Let's get that Shannon Sharpe. I'm trying to do it all, baby. Come around here. Give him a call, baby. Let's get this thing going. Shannon Sharpe, how we get here and how we could have went somewhere else. Man, Shannon settled. And then he bounced. Come on, y'all. Shannon done settled. Now he off the mouse. No more first take. No more Stevens house. They cut the ties. Said, go walk. Guess them legal docs louder than that Skip Bayless talk. Lawsuit. Hush, hush. The streets got wind. ESPN said, good luck. Let's run it again. Nah. Should've settled quick. Way before the heat. Now it's Club Shay Shay only. Still elite. He gone from the mouse, but still got the cheese. Built his own throne, now he move how he please. They thought it was curtains, but nah, he lit. When you own your own brand, you don't ever quit. Look, he got stars on the show, got deals with brands. They watching on YouTube, clapping with both hands. Don't need ESPN when you are the show. He turned a lawsuit loss into a boss man glow. Bet Disney tight, damn we let him walk. Now he viral every day, still getting that talk. Moral of the story, build your lane, cause when they kick you out, you still in the game. Blah, blah. Let me tell you something. They thought it was gonna hold them back. You better listen to this track. I know what happens when you get dropped. You can still be on the mother top. Yeah. Hey, all I gotta let you know, Shannon. You better let go. Blah, blah, blah. Shoot that cannon. This is Marcellus Wiley with an urgent message for anyone struggling with over $10,000 in credit card debt. Here's what you need to do right now. Visit pt.monitordebt.com. They've helped thousands reduce what they owe by dealing directly with creditors, cutting balances by 30, 40, even 50%. This isn't a loan. This is a proven debt settlement program where you make affordable monthly deposits while they do the heavy lifting. Many clients become debt-free in 24 to 48 months. Don't wait another day drowning in interest. Call 866-204-0071 or visit pt.monitordebt.com. Your financial freedom is waiting. It's just one phone call away. It's been a decade plus that I knew that this day was going to come.
Oh, this is not hyperbole here. Because I think the
Time to hydrate. Hydration's the situation, so